Here's the truth. Charisma isn't magic. It's not confidence on steroids. And it's definitely not pretending to be someone you're not. Charisma is actually a system, a predictable, learnable system based on how humans read each other in milliseconds. Today we're going to break that system down. Chapter 1. The 97 Cues to be warm and competent. The moment someone sees you, their brain goes to work. And no, it's not judging your soul. It's doing something much more basic and much more primal. It's asking two questions. First, can I trust this person? Second, can I rely on this person? That's it. Every first impression boils down to those two questions, and the answers come from what researchers call cues. Tiny signals you send with your body, face, voice, and behavior that tell people who you are before you ever open your mouth. There are a lot of these cues. A lot. In fact, there are 97 of them that consistently show up across studies. And before you panic, no, you're not supposed to memorize all 97 like you're studying for the world's most stressful pop quiz. What matters is how these cues group together. They fall into two categories: warmth cues and competence cues. Warmth cues answer the question, are you friendly and safe? Competence cues answer the question, are you capable and confident? If people sense warmth without competence, they think you're nice, but maybe not someone they'd trust with responsibility. If they sense competence without warmth, they think you're impressive, but emotionally distant, maybe even intimidating. When they sense both at the same time, that's when charisma shows up. Warmth is communicated through things that make people feel comfortable around you. Your facial expressions play a huge role here. A genuine smile, the kind that actually reaches your eyes, sends an immediate signal of friendliness. Eye contact that feels relaxed rather than intense tells people you're present and engaged. Even something as small as a slight head tilt can signal curiosity and openness instead of judgment. Your body position matters too. When your arms are open instead of crossed, when your hands are visible instead of hidden, your brain is telling other people's brains, I'm not a threat. And yes, that matters more than we like to admit. Competence cues work differently. They're about stability and confidence. Your posture sends a big message here. Standing or sitting upright without stiffness suggests you're grounded and self-assured. The way you use your hands while speaking, especially when your gestures match your words, signals that you believe what you're saying. Your voice plays a huge role as well. A steady pace, a clear tone, and not rushing to fill every silence make you sound more confident than trying to talk fast and impress everyone with how much you know. Here's the important part. People aren't consciously counting these cues. They're feeling them. Their brain adds them up instantly and delivers a verdict before logic ever gets involved. And this is where most people accidentally sabotage themselves. They overcorrect. They try to be so nice that they lose authority, or they try to be so confident that they forget to look human. Charisma isn't about choosing warmth or competence. It's about balancing them. Chapter 2. The Scientific Formula for Charisma. Once you understand warmth and competence, charisma stops being mysterious and starts being mechanical. There is an actual formula behind it, and it's shockingly simple. Charisma equals warmth plus competence. Not warmth alone, not competence alone. Both together, happening at the same time. This works because the human brain is lazy. It doesn't want to analyze everyone deeply. It wants shortcuts. Warmth and competence are those shortcuts. They explain most of what people need to know to decide how to treat you. When your cues are aligned, people feel comfortable and impressed at the same time. When they're misaligned, people feel confused, and confusion is the enemy of charisma. For example, imagine someone standing tall with confident posture, but speaking in a hesitant, unsure voice. The body says one thing, The voice says another, and the brain doesn't like that inconsistency. It creates doubt. Charismatic people don't eliminate nerves or insecurity. They manage how those things show up through their cues. They also adjust based on context. In emotional conversations, warmth leads. In leadership moments, competence leads. But neither one ever completely disappears. And here's the good news. You don't need to change your personality to do this. You don't need to become louder, more extroverted, or more dominant. You just need to become more intentional. Small adjustments make a massive difference. Slowing your speech slightly makes you sound more confident. Holding eye contact for 1 extra second signals presence. Opening your posture instead of shrinking inward signals comfort with yourself. Charisma isn't about adding something fake. It's about removing mixed signals. When people say someone has presence, what they really mean is that person's cues are clear. Their warmth and competence are easy to read. The brain doesn't have to work hard to understand them. And when the brain doesn't have to work hard, it relaxes. And relaxed brains like you. Chapter 3. How to get people to approach you. Now let's talk about the moment before the conversation even starts. The part everyone secretly wants to master. How do you get people to approach you? Because let's be honest, walking up to someone is hard. And most people won't do it unless they feel invited. Approachability is not about being loud or flashy. It's about signaling openness. People approach those who look like they'll be kind, receptive, and worth the effort. Warmth does most of the heavy lifting here. Your face is the first signal. A neutral face can easily look closed off or distracted. A soft expression with relaxed eyes and a slight smile tells people you're open to interaction. Your body orientation matters too. Facing outward instead of turning inward sends a subconscious invitation. Crossing your arms or turning your shoulders away does the opposite, even if you don't mean it that way. Eye contact is one of the strongest approach signals, but only when paired with warmth. A brief look, a small smile, and then looking away creates a moment of connection without pressure. It's like saying hello without forcing a conversation. Competence still matters here. People don't just approach those who look friendly. They approach those who look confident enough to hold a conversation. Standing comfortably, occupying your space without tension, and moving with purpose tells people you're socially capable. Even micro movements can make a difference. A small nod when someone looks your way. A subtle lean forward instead of backward. Keeping your hands visible instead of buried in pockets. These are tiny signals, but together they say something powerful. I see you, and it's safe to talk to me. What's interesting is that most people think approachability is passive. They think, if someone wants to talk to me, they will. But charismatic people know it's active. They send invitations constantly without realizing it. They don't wait to be chosen. They create conditions that make choosing them easy. And once someone does approach, the warmth competence balance kicks back in. You welcome them in with warmth, then show competence by being present, articulate, and grounded. At that point, the hard part is already done. Starting a conversation with a stranger feels terrifying mostly because we think we need a clever opening line, when in reality the brain just wants something normal and non-threatening. The goal isn't to impress, it's to create momentum. The easiest way to do that is to comment on something shared and obvious, because shared context removes pressure instantly. Saying something like, "This place is louder than I expected," or "I always forget how long these lines are," works not because it's genius, but because it's safe. It signals awareness, not desperation. What matters most is how you say it. A relaxed tone, a slight smile, and steady eye contact do more than the words themselves. And here's the secret most people miss. Once the conversation starts, you don't need to carry it. You just need to listen. People feel drawn to those who make them feel heard, not those who perform. So forget perfect lines. Start simple, Stay present and let the conversation build itself. Because awkwardness usually comes from trying too hard, not from saying too little. So, here's the big takeaway. Charisma isn't something you either have or don't have. It's not a personality type. It's not reserved for extroverts, leaders, or people with perfect teeth. Charisma is a language made of cues. Warmth tells people they can trust you. Competence tells them they can rely on you. When you combine both, people feel drawn to you without fully knowing why. You don't need all 97 cues. You don't need to perform. You just need clarity, clear signals, aligned behavior, intentional presence. And once you understand that, charisma stops being intimidating and starts being practical. So next time you walk into a room, remember this. People aren't judging you as harshly as you think. Their brains are just trying to answer two simple questions. Make those answers easy and watch what happens. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more.